of this. I don't know why I'm laughing so much, but the reason why I had the title away is because I find it a bit interesting that the same people who are for tolerance and for other people not culture appropriating things, it seems a bit hypocritical for them to also be the same people out of their same mouths schooling other cultures on how to do their shit. Look, anime has been around for a very, very long time and has been successful for a very, very long time. And I know other YouTubers like Yellow Flash have covered this, but I thought I would weigh in because, again, it's the equivalent of telling people to fix their fucking art. You know, when I was growing up, I learned that there are different styles of art. There are some people who draw people like stick people. There are some people who draw people like circles. And there are some artists who choose to draw their characters like freaking starfish. Some of these art look like entities from out of the nether. The thing is, many art forms will choose to augment characteristics to make their art stand out more, or more appealing, or more grotesque. And not all anime have women with huge galantres. And even if they do, so what? We have art forms here in the form of erotic novels for women where the things they describe are like crazy graphic, but yet nobody says anything about that. And not to mention, we have a lot of anime characters that are also very revealing and shit bulging and, you know, strictly objectification of men. But nobody bats an eye about that, because when it's done to guys, it's totally fine objectifying them. Not like you can consider that females that also read anime or also look at anime, not that you should consider that, you know, many women and females also watch anime and read manga, and they're totally fine with it, the majority of us that enjoy it. Nobody cares. And if it offends you that much, then maybe not watch it. You know, I find it kind of odd because those same people will see commercials of pretty ladies and they'll be like, look at how they're objectifying women. But bro, did you consider that the grown-ass woman that's on the commercial was totally fine with using her beauty and her body to get money? She didn't have to do that. She could have worked at McDonald's or worked as a temp or worked as a secretary or worked as an engineer. But she chose to start an OnlyFans, or she chose to be a part of that commercial. Nobody made her do it. Oh, but back to the task at hand. Back to the task of Americans telling the Japanese how they should do their art. And you know, I find it really interesting because the sales of manga and anime watching is at an all-time high. Yet the famous studios who have prolifically put out comics and graphic novels for the longest while are now suffering with sales, while manga is surpassing them. I wonder why. Could it be because manga artists or the studios that create anime are free to have and exercise their creative liberty to tell stories the way stories were meant to be told, to tell their stories the way they want to tell them without being censored or without frickin' trying to please everyone that gets offended over seeing big titties, which is something a lot of us girls have? I don't understand why these people that also fix people's art or have a problem with anime and manga usually expect the female characters to have boobs that are shrunken. Like, okay, way to ostracize a big group of us that have big tits. And I know this is shocking and this is gonna hurt some people's feelings, but guys and girls like looking at big tits on women. Now, I can't speak for enjoying having them. I don't. But I like looking at them. I like playing female characters that are voluptuous because I'm sorry, I know, I'm straight, but it's fun watching them bounce. I mean, it's fun. They're titties. Like, who doesn't like that? You don't have to be curved, and when I mean curved, I mean not straight, to like titties. They're fun things, just like I like leg bags or crotch bubbles. They are super fun to watch. But you know, we don't have the liberty of watching guys wear their grape seeds on the outside of their clothes. That would be fun if they did, because that would be a really cool fashion I would personally enjoy. But we do have chesticles, and they're out there for everyone to see, and they're bouncy and they're fun. I'm not saying people with little tits aren't attractive. They are, and trust me, I fully intend to get surgery so I can become one of those people, because having big bubbles on your chest are not all it's cracked up to be. Girls, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Comment below if you agree, because only us girls that have that know the pain. You're out here getting upset because we have big features when you don't even realize that most of us want the features that you have. But that being said, it is really out of order to get upset at another country's art style because you're offended by it. You're offended by women who actually look like women in your country. Like, I can see how that just didn't go over well, and you never once considered that, I don't know, women have a mind of their own, and the reason why it does so well is because men like it and possibly women like it as well. Nobody's complaining over there. If you don't like something, just don't buy it. Like, I mean, that's a given, right? You don't appreciate something, you don't like something, just don't purchase it. Don't support it. There's no reason to get upset and tweet something as self-righteous as this. American comic book artists are taken deservedly to task regularly for outrageously sexist treatment of women, but rarely do I see any commentary on the rampant sexism and misogyny of manga. And manga is incredibly popular with younger readers. Yeah, bitch. And, I don't know, to me it kind of sounds like you're a salty person who either is or was a comic book artist, I think you are, based on what I've heard, who's kind of jealous or envious of the fact that manga is selling better than anything you could have ever done. And instead of learning from what they're doing, instead of looking at them and saying, I wonder how they were able to do that. I wonder why it's selling so well. Maybe I should do the same thing. It's not just the way the characters look. I mean, they're very aesthetically pleasing, and it helps when you like what you're looking at on the screen. I don't know about you, but if I see something that I like, I'm going to continue to watch. This has been Entertainment 101 from the beginning. It stood the test of time. Doesn't matter what color you are, doesn't matter where you're from. If you were goddamn beautiful, there's money to be made. And if you catch people's eye because you're beautiful, then guess what? People would be more interested in looking at the story or listening to the story. You know, there's actually a channel that people tell the weather or talk about the weather and the girls strip while they're doing it. And I was watching a few of them and I'm like, okay, this makes the weather really interesting because you're just waiting to see what they look like or waiting. It's just fun. I don't know. They have the guy one too, and that's so freaking hot. Like, you know, and they're, you can't show that on TV, but they are very popular because why? People like looking at that shit. If we were a society, like so many tribal societies that don't wear clothes, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. People would look and they're like, oh, I like those. But, you know, titties wouldn't be such a big deal. It wouldn't be like, oh my God, look at those things. But we wear clothes. So it's that air of mystery, and some people don't mind sharing their secrets. So please keep that in mind before you put such a huge responsibility on a general audience, of which most of them don't have a problem with anime and manga the way you do. Like, what in the... I don't even... God, I don't even know why I'm so upset. I don't even know why I'm getting upset. Like, it just makes no sense to me. I know I'm rambling. This is the kind of video I just wanted to talk about it because it just makes no sense to me that these same people are the same people who will be like, don't tell the Japanese people what to do. Don't use their culture. Don't do this. Don't do that. Even though a lot of people enjoy their culture and the Japanese stand to make money off of you enjoying their culture. By you telling people, not this person, but by you telling people, some other person, not to eat sushi, you're effectively saying not to give the Japanese here any business because guess what they do? A lot of these Japanese restaurants, they make sushi because they know people like it. So you're telling them effectively, oh, don't eat sushi, don't give the Japanese your money. You're effectively saying manga has a problem. Make it fail like our medium is failing. Don't give them your money. That's what you're effectively saying. And you're low-key insulting them. And by your own definition, I'm not talking about this specific individual because it's not just him, but by a lot of these people's definition that have these kinds of takes, you're culture appropriating. You see, when people take something that is from another culture, like clothes, and they wear it, that's not culture appropriating. You're enjoying what somebody else has made, just like they enjoy shit that we've made. However, when you take your own standards of morality or self-righteousness and then try to school or degrade another country or culture into doing things exactly the way you do things, you freaking colonizer, that is culture appropriation. But you're appropriating your culture upon somebody else's. And don't give me that shit about, it's not the same thing. Culture is not the treatment of women. Okay, I got something to say to you, okay, because this is gonna blow your fucking mind. Okay, you ready? All right, here we go. Listen closely, friends. Anime girls are not real! Did you catch that? Did you hear that? Yes, shocking! I know, right? The big-breasted and scantily clad females on the two-dimensional medium are not real. Oh my God, wow, woo! This bitch bitch is not a real person. If some guy is staring at her, I'm looking at her chest and I'm enjoying it. And I'm like, God damn, girl. I want to put my fox fangs into those little freaking chest pillows. And I want to squeeze them till all the juice leaks out. I want to take your hair in my mouth now. No matter what weirdness I can say and what I decide to do to this person or what I have happen to this person, she's not real. It's no different than making your freaking cookies into the shape of a ginger man and then shoving a fucking fork up its ass. It's not real, regardless of whether it's in the shape of a human being or not and has eyes, nose, and a mouth, right? It's not real. And some of these people need to learn to differentiate reality from fantasy. I could understand if they had actual people in there and they were slapping them around and it was one of those times where women didn't have a choice, but that is not the case. Women have a choice now. Most women go into these forms knowing full well what they're doing. Now, if you're talking about cuties, that's a different situation because there's underage people there. But this character, they're not fucking real. God fucking mighty, I am so sick and tired of being so fucking sensitive over shit that they don't need to be sensitive about. Leave Japan alone. They have been successfully selling their shit for a while. Maybe you need to take the fucking log out of your eye before you recognize a speck in somebody else's and fix your shit at home before you try to tell other people how to fix their shit. You cannot be fixing other people's home situations when your home is out of order. Stop fucking doing that, mind your own fucking business.